So I was on Twitter and I ran into this popularity list by Hi Buff Gigas Please. As you can see, I got it on the screen. So it looks like this list was actually compiled by a Reddit user named Old Blaze. I don't really go on Reddit, but apparently he was the one that compiled this list. So as you can see, this is a popularity list for Tekken 8 for the first year of its lifespan. You know, we just ended 2024. Happy New Year, by the way. I hope 2025 is a great year for everybody. Anyway, I'm gonna go over this list because it's interesting to me, because I want to see, kind of just talk about the character placements, where they were at the beginning of Tekken 8's lifespan and where they ended up at the end. So what I'm gonna do is, I got the list pulled up here. Let me switch to a better tab. There we go. So, all right, let's zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to focus on mostly the characters that I play as, but let's just kind of go from top to bottom, all right? So starting off, we have Dragunov. As you can see right here, his placement at release was number 1, and he's been consistent, right? You can see DLC 1, 2, and 3. He has been consistent at number 1 by far. Probably, I mean, the most popular character, strongest character in the game. Even with some of the changes that he got, it really hasn't affected him that much gameplay-wise. A lot of top players use him, a lot of people overall use him online. Very popular character, and for a good reason, great tools. So it's no surprise that Dragunov has stayed at number 1. After that, we got Jin, the mascot of Tekken 8, the face of Tekken 8. No surprise there. Looks like he started off at 6, then 2, 2, and then 2. So again, you know, pretty consistent as the life cycle of Tekken 8 went on in the first year. Brian looks like he started at 11, but then gained a lot of popularity as the year went on. I feel like there are certain Brian players, of course, like me, who popularized him a lot, and therefore influenced a lot of players to play as him, among other players that whose names kind of slip my mind at the moment. Heihachi, as you can see, he was released at DLC 4 right here, or DLC 3, placement number 4, new character. And then going down the list, we got, you know, your typical, really like the top placements. I'm not surprised at all. You got Kazuya, King, Reina. Reina dropped down a bit. She was very popular at the beginning of the game. She has a very quick fighting style, great tools overall. And during the first couple months of the game, she was a big knowledge check, like a really big knowledge check. And a lot of people were using that to her advantage. But overall, she didn't seem to drop off that bad. You can see 2 places there, minus 3, and then minus 1 again to ultimately go to number 8 for DLC 3. So now we go on to Lili. So Lili is a character that I play. I don't know, like, I don't think I consider her my main. I think she's my secondary character overall. I think people know me a lot more for Azucena. I took a poll, about a month or so ago, and my viewers said that they associate me more with Azucena than Lili. So anyway, let's talk about Lili here. Lili, as you can see, ranked 12th at the release, 13, 14, 15. So she's been pretty consistent, right? She hasn't dropped down too many spots. And it's understandable. I mean, Lili is an all-around character that plays Tekken 8 really well. You know, she got jab, she got sidestep, she got legs, she got Feisty Rabbit mix-ups, which are lethal as heck, dude. Like Feisty Rabbit, when Lili is in heat, overall, she's lethal, dude. She has so many combinations of moves that she can do, and she's an overall very, very strong character in Tekken 8. She has great reach, great pokes, punishers are good, mix-ups are good, like I said, wall carry is good, combo output damage is great. There's just a lot that you can do with Lili, so I'm not surprised that she has remained consistent in terms of popularity. I mean, she hasn't dropped off that bad. There's some well-known Lili players out there who really make her shine and showcase all her abilities and how to properly play her in a tournament setting. But at the same time, you know, she's a popular character, but there are other characters in this game, obviously, that kind of take away some spotlight from her. But overall, I'm not surprised about Lili just being really consistent here. Seems very solid overall. So I'm kind of skipping through some characters because I don't want to make this a bit longer than it has to be, but let's talk about Azucena. So Azucena is my main. She's my main character. This is the one that stuck out to me a lot because, as you can see, at release she was 4th in popularity. Now we all know why, because Azucena, back in the day when she got released, her while running 3-2, that was an incredible move. Like that move would lock your opponents down. It was insanely good, right? And I believe it was +5 on block, if I remember correctly. So it was insanely good, and people could just repeatedly do it over and over and over again. There was counterplay to this move. However, the counterplay that you could do was not enough. It was overwhelmingly a move that favored Azucena a lot, even though there were some counterplays to it. You know, Azucena could lock you down pretty hard with that while running 3-2. So I remember that she went through a couple of nerfs. First, they nerfed that move by, if the first hit whiffed the knee, then the following hit would not come out. I remember that was the first nerf. And then I believe after that, they also toned down how far she would fly away from you if she whiffed that move. And then ultimately, the frame data got reduced to from +5 to +2 essentially. So now all that you can do if you use that move is that you're essentially limited to a grab or so, you know what I'm saying? And now on top of that, it wasn't just while running 3-2 that got nerfed overall with Azucena. I believe 2-1 as well got nerfed, and which honestly I think that 2-1 was a bigger nerf to her moveset than while running 3-2. I really do believe that. And then on top of that, a lot of her moves became more linear, like down forward 1-4. On block it does jail, but it's very linear. Like she does have very linear movesets now, and she's easy to sidestep and sidewalk. So all of that combined ultimately placed her at 19. So as you can see, this is a big drop. That's -15 places. She went from top 4 in popularity to -19, dropping 15 places after the nerfs. That's crazy, dude. But you know what though? It kind of makes sense because there were a lot of people who were just using Azucena's while running 3-2 and getting away with murder and essentially getting carried by that move because it was a cop out essentially. Like that was an easy input move that really took her far. And like I mentioned, there was counterplay to it, but it wasn't nearly as effective. So after the nerfs, she dropped down a lot in popularity, as you can see, and she continued to drop down, right? When DLC 2 was released, she dropped 2 more places, placing her at 21, and then at 23 ultimately by the time Heihachi released at DLC 3. So as of right now, she is 23rd in popularity. That's a big drop off, going from top 4 to 23 in popularity. That's crazy. But in a way, so Bandai Namco intended her to be a stance character, but because she had all these strong moves, like while running 3-2 were overpowered at release, people weren't utilizing her stances. So Bandai Namco basically nerfed her, made changes that would force players to play what they were intending her to be, which was a stance mix-up character. Now, me personally, I mean, that I was always playing her like that, so it didn't really affect me that much, you know what I'm saying? Like people who were really focused on that while running 3-2 and other moves, yeah, they felt the hurt. And I honestly, I don't know, you could say whatever you want about it, but honestly, in a way, I was kind of relieved that she got nerfed a little bit, because that meant that only the loyalists, you know, only people who actually like the character were going to end up playing her. And, you know, you go online right now, you don't really see many Azucena players, right? But she's overall, I still think she's a solid character. You got to put in a lot of work to win with her, depending on who you're playing against. But overall, I do think she still has a solid foundation. And maybe in Season 2, she'll get some buffs that would complement her style more. You know, we kind of got a glimpse of that at her heat engager, in which she has a new low, like a snake edge, not a snake edge, like a hell sweep type of move, you know what I'm saying? So overall, I'm trying to I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing what happens with Azucena as a character going into 2025. We'll see what happens, and yeah, I mean, maybe if she gets some buffs, maybe everybody that dropped her, maybe they'll come back. I don't know, come running back to the character. I spent a lot of time talking about Azucena, so let's kind of go down the list again. Now let's go on to Lidia. So Lidia is a character, you know, she got released in summer. She's not as popular as I would have expected, to be honest. Even with like the DLC focusing on her, as you can see, she was ranked at 19th and then 25th by the time Heihachi came out. It's interesting because I think Lidia is cool. She has a cool playstyle. She is a stance character. I think one thing you're going to see with this list is that the more a character focuses on stances, the less popular they'll be. And Lidia can rush you down, it's true, but she ultimately does have stances, and that's what her core gameplay consists of. Overall, though, I'm really surprised to see her at 25th place. That seems low for her. It was just something I wasn't expecting, especially. I mean, I don't know, because you have people that when Tekken 7 was still a thing, people were calling Lidia bland. Like essentially when Tekken 7 was out and all the DLC characters were getting released, a lot of people were all like, you know, these characters don't have any soul, they don't have any personality, they're bland, whatever the heck. And some of that may have carried on to Tekken 8 because Lydia's ranked pretty low. You know, you have that wave of popularity when the character first gets released. You see them online all the time, in tournament all the time. But then as time goes on, like, everybody just kind of forgets about the character. So Lidia being ranked at 25th is definitely interesting to me. I wasn't really expecting that. Eddy, he started off at 19, 22, 26. So again, another character who I just assumed that would be a little bit more popular, especially with how accessible he is to play in this game. They did change his capoeira a little bit, but overall he's still very accessible. Very popular legacy character overall. So with that in mind, I did expect Eddy to be ranked a little bit higher, but it looks like he's at 26 right now. Asuka, Kuma, Shaheen. Okay. Shaheen is a character I honestly thought that while looking at this list, I thought Shaheen was going to be bottom. Like, let me tell you right now, Shaheen, I do not see him online ever. Really, I don't. I can hop online, play rank, play quick match, whatever, and I can go like a week, not even kidding. I'll go about a week of playing straight online, and I won't run into a Shaheen player. He's one of those characters where I'm serious. I forget he exists in this game until somebody brings him up or he appears on the versus screen and I'm like, oh crap, I'm fighting Shaheen. He exists in Tekken. He's just boring overall. And here's the thing though, Shaheen is actually a good character. He has a simple but effective move list. And he has a great move list. He has great wall carry. He has a little bit of a stance game going on as well, but overall a very solid character with a good move list that can really mess you up. However, because he as a character is so bland and boring, not many people realize that, and he goes under the radar a lot until you see somebody like freaking AK, you know, killing everybody in tournament with Shaheen. But overall, he has definitely flown under the radar. But again, that's just because of how boring of a character he is. His design, his story, just purely on character design, he's just bland. That's it. It's nothing about the gameplay. It's just he has no charisma, no aura, basically. Zafina is a character that I play. She was ranked 30th at the beginning, 27, 29, back to 30. I'm not surprised, to be honest. I'm not surprised because Zafina is a stance heavy character. She has 3 stances and that makes her difficult to play, difficult to pick up and play. But again, I think, what also happened is that a lot of Zafina's tools from Tekken 7 got taken out. The biggest one that I can think of is Zafina's back 1+2, where she freaking does the Dawson like arm swipe, she goes low. that got taken out from neutral, from standing, right? She can still do it if she goes into Scarecrow stance, but she used to be more lethal, you know, when she was able to do that move straight up from neutral, no stance required. So that got eliminated in this game, and I think that in itself was enough to bring her down to this level of popularity. You know, not many people use her. And as mentioned, she's a stance character, so that's definitely going to turn off some players, especially newer, beginning players into Tekken 8. Character design wise, I don't think she's boring, but maybe other people do think that her design is bland compared to some other of the girls in Tekken 8. I don't know. But overall, her damage output sucks too. Like, honestly, her damage output is not good. Like, she can do so much. Like, you could do like a freaking 10 hit combo for 60 something damage, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes the execution of her combos can be a little bit tricky, and you do all of that work just for like a little bit over 65 damage. Meanwhile, other characters get so much more damage from a freaking low parry or whatever the heck, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dang. But overall, Zafina, I'm really not surprised she's this low, and she's probably going to stay this low unless something changes. Raven and Leroy, okay, so Raven, again, another stance character, difficult to play, difficult to master. Not many people out there that play him. Leroy, I'm surprised he's this low on the list. I feel like maybe his initial release in Tekken 7, if you guys remember, for those of you who were there, when Leroy Smith got released in Tekken 7, he was a DLC character, and his moves were insanely good. His moves were insanely good. I think Evo Japan was the first tournament where Leroy was released, right? Like, Leroy had just been released, and you had Evo Japan. I believe that was a tournament where top 8 was like 6 Leroys, right? And I don't know what year that was. I think that was 2019. Book, someone double check. I think it was Book from Thailand that won that tournament. Now, if you remember, Book is a Jin main. But to win that tournament, he had to play as Leroy. And I remember when he won the tournament, a lot of people pointed it out. He didn't look happy. You know, it's almost like he was like, man, dude, I had to bust out Leroy to win this tournament. I couldn't do it with my main character. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of one of those things. I'm pretty sure it was Book, Evo Japan 2019, give or take, around that line. But yeah, I think his initial release in Tekken 7 kind of did irreversible damage to his popularity, his character overall, and I don't think he just quite ever recovered from it. You know, as you can see, 31, 32, 33, 34. And last on the list, we have Panda. Poor Panda. It seems like every game that she's in, she's always bottom of the barrel, like in terms of popularity. It sucks because I should play Panda, to be honest. I like Panda as a character. I like the fact that it's a bear. You know, anything that Panda does, Kuma can do better in this game, but I just like Panda overall in terms of design. I like the beach ball type of thing she got going on. I just like pandas overall in real life than grizzly bears. You know what I'm saying? Like, pandas just look cool. So I understand why pandas last on the list. Like I said, she's a bear. There's 2 bears in the game, and the bear that gets promoted the most is Kuma. You know, being Heihachi's bodyguard and whatever the heck, right? You know, Kuma has electrics now. Panda doesn't. So I understand why pandas last on the popularity list, but it's still sad to see. I think she was last in popularity with Tekken 7 as well. As you can see, you know, she was ranked last, 32 at release, 33, 34, 35. So every time there's a new character that comes out, she just goes down. Like, she's always last place. That's sad to see, to be honest. But again, like, this is one of those things where it's like, you know, that's why people say, you know, did you really have to, you know, use up a slot on Panda, who we all know is going to be bottom of the popularity table every single Tekken game. Like, I get why people say that, you know. So, you know, sad for Panda, but, you know, hey, I love Panda. Maybe I should start playing as Panda. Maybe take people by surprise. I don't know. Go online. I don't know. I might do that. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Other than that, you know, that was a list of most popular characters in Tekken 8 as of right now. You know, some surprises, you know, some not. But overall, I think the one that is most surprising, but not really, was of course Azucena dropping from 4th place to 23rd. I understand why, but that, like, seeing it in perspective now with data, it's like, holy moly, like, yeah, like she took a hit in popularity. But yeah, that was the list of most popular Tekken 8 characters for 2024. I'm curious to see how this is going to change over the course of this year, especially with Season 2 coming out. So, you know, we're all looking forward to that. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought about this list. I mean, yeah, I mean, where does your character rank? Are you surprised? Are you not surprised? What do you think about this character list of popularity? And, you know, just let me know. Let's just have a little talk or something. I don't know. It's fun to talk about these things. But beyond that, I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good day. Stay safe out there. Take care. And I'll see you in the next video.